So I guess that being said, we're going to start with fantasy football. All right. Why don't we go through some busts? All right. Let's talk about people who are going to disappoint us this year. Or the definition of bust in this case is going to be guys that get drafted too high and we believe they shouldn't be drafted that high. All right. That is what a bust is. I am going to pass it off to Mike first tonight. Mikey, get us started with your bust. Just go through the list first. I want you guys to go through your list, and then we're going to cover some of the guys that stand out the most to us, okay?
Okay.
Because we got a lot of stuff tonight.
All right, so number one on this list, it pains me to say it, but I have Miles Sanders. I have Joe Mixon, formerly known as Mark Mixon. Shout out, Mark. Best commissioner in fantasy football history, no cat.
Mark Mixon.
And then number 3, Tua.
Damn. Well, you can give, if you have more on your list, you can give it.
Those are the only 3 I had on there.
Okay. All right. Nick.
All right, so bus, I got Josh Jacobs, I got Mike Evans, and number 3, I got Miles Sanders as well. So
And
I think we're in agreement.
Do you have any more than that, Nick, or no?
I had Kenny Galladay and Miles Gaskin as honorable mentions,
Okay.
but yeah,
I'm with you on him, too.
I got
Kenny
a
Galladay.
list. I got a list here, but I'm not going to cover all of them. Okay. Josh Jacobs, I'm in agreement there. Kenny Galladay, Will Fuller, Trevor Lawrence, Melvin Gordon, Adam Thielen, Juju, and Evan Engram. All right. Pains me to say Will Fuller. Everyone knows he's my boy. I have him
you had a
every
bag
year.
of, you had like a whole stack of players. Damn.
Oh man, disappointment.
Well, here's the thing. And my honorable mention was Chris Carson. But I'm fucking with you.
See, I lit up. I was gonna say, wait a second. This guy's getting underdrafted to begin
his
with.
head perked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, let's cover. Why don't we talk about Josh Jacobs? Nick, tell me why you got Josh Jacobs there.
I don't.
He's a high-profile guy.
He is, but like he gets injured a lot, and I know he had a case over the offseason, so I don't know how that's going to play out during the season. I don't know. I just don't love his situation. I feel like the Raiders don't do enough on offense. I don't like the quarterback situation, so I feel like they're going to stack the box, and I just. He's good, don't get me wrong. Like he gets a lot of, yards after contact, which I like. He does score, but I'm off of him this year. There's something about it, I just don't feel comfortable selecting him this year.
I'll tell you what I saw, and don't quote me on the exact stat.
And they have Kenyon Drake too as well. So I mean
Yeah.
that does cut into his, into his workload. So that does play a factor as well.
Yeah, they could be the ass twins.
Yeah, exactly.
I will never understand for the life of me why they signed that guy. Josh Jacobs is a workhorse back.
Yeah.
And the proof, and this is the stat I was about to quote, which I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty damn close, okay? When he does not receive 20 carries in his career, I believe he is averaging less than 10 fantasy points per game.
I can attest to that. I
Yeah.
had him last year, and I loved him. I thought he was going to be an RB1.
So
in that,
there you go.
That category. And it was just every week, it's a nagging injury with a hamstring, a foot, a toe, a hand. And I'm totally in agreement with that.
Because it's a shame. He's really talented. He's a great player. The Las Vegas Raiders, their offensive line, they just traded everybody away too. I mean, they lost 3 notable guys.
Yeah.
So, I'm a little worried myself. That's the biggest name on that list. What are you guys going to want to go over next? Kenny Galladay was another one.
He's too injury prone for me. He's too injury prone, and if you're going to draft a guy that high, like you want him to be available. I mean, don't get me wrong, the talent is there, and I'm sure the audience will agree with me there. But like I said, he's just never available to be in the top 10 guys. Especially where he's getting drafted. I believe he's getting drafted in the 4th, 5th round or something. To me, it's too high for a player that's not available. So that's where I'm at.
So real fast on the bus category with that, I had in my bold predictions that Kenny Galladay wouldn't be a top 35 receiver.
Ooh, wow.
And it's similar to that. The O-line blows, and I don't trust Jason Garrett. And my thing is Galladay thrives being a deep threat. And I don't think Daniel Jones is going to have the time back there to let his route develop.
And you know what? The injury thing this is not
that goes without
soft
saying.
issue guy. I mean, I love his talent. If he didn't go to New York into a better situation, let's say. I mean, even if he just had, if Matthew Stafford was still a quarterback, I would love him. I think he's an undisputed number 1 receiver in this league, but he keeps getting hurt, and the big breakout is not happening as a result. But that's a crowded receiver room, too. They're 4 deep. That's another thing. 4 deep.
I'm normally 4 deep, so I can figure that one.
Whoa. What's going on here?
Easy
What
there.
the fuck is going on here?
Settle down over there. Yeah, I mean, it's a real shame. It's a real shame. I don't even know if he's going to suit up for week 1. So I'm down on the Giants in general. We're going to talk about them later, but
Yeah.
I've been saying that. I've been preaching to the choir with the Giants. What's another one you guys want to pick out?
Miles Sanders to me as well. Eagles are running back by committee. They've been that way for the last couple years, and they're still going to be that way. They drafted Kenneth Gainwell. He could be an X factor for the Eagles as well. I'm just off Miles Sanders. He's just not a fantasy guy for me. Even the last 2 years, he just doesn't have much appeal to me as a fantasy player.
He has all the tools to be a legit running back in the NFL.
Yeah.
He just he doesn't get the opportunity to put it all together.
Exactly right.
And not for nothing, every time Boston Scott touches the ball, something good happens. I love Boston Scott.
Me
dude.
too.
I
I've been
really do.
screaming this.
I like him too, but I definitely think Kenny Gainwell is going to play over him, and he's going to play a lot. He's going to be in that Nyheim Hines role. That guy could be considered a sleeper right there. I wasn't going to mention that in my little piece there, but Miles Sanders,
It sucks. It's unfortunate.
you can't thrive in fantasy without touches, and if he's only getting 15, which makes no sense to me, there you go. But it's a new coaching staff, so we'll have to see how he's utilized. But I do imagine they are going to rotate backs a decent amount. I kind of like where he's going. I'm not going to call him a bust because he's tending to go 3rd round. This is a guy who was selected like end of 1st round, early 2nd round last year. I actually think he might be a decent value in the 3rd round. So I didn't want to call him a bust, but I completely understand where you guys are coming from. Who else, guys?
I mentioned Mike Evans.
That's a pretty flashy name.
Yeah, and I mentioned him because last year, look, he had 109 targets. He had 70 catches, 1,006 yards, but he had 13 touchdowns. So he was finishing in the upper echelon of wide receivers, but that was only due to his touchdown production. And do I see him getting 13 touchdowns this year? I don't.
Probably not.
I see that probably going to maybe 8 or 9. And they're loaded. The Bucs are loaded. Let's call a spade a spade. They got a lot of players. They got Godwin. They got AB. They got Scotty Miller. And Brady, he dishes the ball, equally.
And Evans,
whoever's open, he's hitting. That's it.
He goes by matchup. It's matchup based.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They pick apart whatever matchup's the best matchup.
He'll throw it to the running back. He'll throw it to the tight end. And then they have 2 other good wide receivers. I just think, I just think Mike Evans is probably the overall best receiver on that team, as far as everything. Because not for nothing, his stats are ridiculous. 1,000 yards in his first 6, 7 seasons in the NFL. That's serious. That's not something to gloss
he's
over.
unbelievable.
He's just
consistent.
not a Brady.
He's consistent as shit. Don't matter who's his quarterback. He's consistent.
So,
he's not a Brady receiver though. He's not the guy that goes in and out, weaves through traffic. That's just not.
Well,
his game.
if you look at, I don't think it's that either. Because if I bring it back to the Randy Moss era of him just throwing it up, and that's the kind of guy Mike Evans is. He stretches the field, So but I'm just down on him this year. I don't see the same production. His targets might go up, but I don't think the touchdowns will be more.
So
same.
In terms of fantasy football, I think he will be drafted too high. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
He's
he
going
would
to
be a
probably
bust
go
for me.
3rd,
Right.
4th round when he should be going, I don't know, late 4th, 5th.
Right.
So I have one more I want to touch on before we move on. I said Adam Thielen, and that should catch some eyes. Because he's been top 10 for a number of years in fantasy, and he was last year too. But he's been heavily touchdown dependent, especially last year. I don't have the percentage in front of me, but there's no way in hell he's going to repeat last year. And if he does, God bless him. I love his story and his talent, but I think that it's pretty clear that Justin Jefferson is the lead receiver there, and I just see touchdown regression. I just don't see how he can keep repeating this.
Yeah, he had 14.
Awesome,
he had 14 touchdowns last year. That's a lot of touchdowns.
So he finished top 10 again as a result.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it. There's a lot of good players on that team too. So
right.
Let's move on to some breakouts, guys. Let's talk about breakouts. And Nick, I'm going to pass it to you first.
All right. Well, my number 1 is Damian Harris. Number 2 is Brandon Ayuk, and number 3 is Jerry Jeudy.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm high on them players this year, so I'm looking forward to their sophomore seasons.
Mikey?
I have Brandon Ayuk, Gus Edwards, and Darnell Mooney.
Okay. And then I have Devontae Smith, Damian Harris. Love that one too. I put Clyde Edwards-Helaire because I don't really think that you can't really call him a breakout last year just because he was drafted in the first round. He had a kind of a disappointing year, okay? I put Javonte Williams in there and Kyle Pitts as well. All right? Let's break down Damian Harris, though. That's a great one to start with. Nick, go ahead.
I'll be honest. I love Damian Harris. When I watched him last year, he didn't hesitate when he was running the football. He was hitting the holes with explosiveness. I know. Go ahead. Pause. It's go ahead. Come on. Get it out now.
Yeah,
Get it out now. Come on. Let's go. Get it out. Go ahead. Come on. Giggle. No, but I really like him. I think he's got potential to be the top 15 PPR back this year. Well, look, despite his receiving ability in the past year, I still like him to be a top 15 back. I love that Mac Jones is the quarterback now because it reminds me of the old Patriots offense, run, and then, play action to tight ends. And they don't have the best receiver. So that's why they got 2 tight ends, for this year. And I just love what they did on the offensive line too as well. I think they'll be fine.
The Trent Brown trade.
Yes.
That was big.
That was major for them. And he's familiar with the system. So I love Damian Harris. I'm all over him.
I'm right there with you. I actually had him listed as one of my value picks because I can't seem to understand for the life of me, even though he doesn't catch passes, I can't understand why he's going so low, especially given that without Cam Newton there, look at all those goal line carries that just open up. There was a lot of rushing touchdowns left on the field there.
Yeah.
Now that Cam Newton's gone. I mean, what do you have, like 8 or something? I don't even remember the stat. He might have had double digit.
I think it was double digits. Yeah.
So I mean, who's gonna? Oh yeah, there he had 12 rushing touchdowns. Sorry, I should have just looked down at my notes. 7 of which were only 1 or 2 yards out. Someone's got to put that in the end zone. It's gonna be Damian Harris.
Yeah.
That's who it's gonna be.
It's coming.
So I mean, besides the fact he's just really good. As soon as they started feeding the ball, 100 yards. I mean, I can remember he had like 300-yard games at the end of the season. Feed the man.
He gets 5 yards of carry.
Put the camera on Mike. Mike. All right, feed him. Feed him. He's hungry. He's hungry. All right. So who else? Did we say so? Mike, give me one of your guys real quick. One of your breakouts.
I like Gus Edwards, and I liked him even before J.K. Dobbins went down, even though I love J.K. Dobbins this year. He's posted at least 700 yards and averaged at least 5 yards a carry in each of his first 3 seasons. And I feel like now is going to be his time to get really like the bulk of those carries. He's going to be getting them all. I mean, I know they worked out Le'Veon Bell and Devontae Freeman today, but they both stink.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to be more than a change of pace guy.
Yeah, but I think Gus Edwards is primed to have a big year. I had him last year and he did okay.
He's averaging 5 yards per carry the last 2 years, I believe. But I mean, obviously in a supportive role, but the guy definitely can handle more work, I think. So that average might come down, but we'll see. But I mentioned I just said like Melvin Gordon's one of my busts, and it's not because I don't like him, but I think that Javonte Williams, who is the breakout that I'm about to talk about, is the real deal, and I think he's actually going to play right away. I think it's going to be a near 50-50 split right down the middle to start the season.
One person I love too for breakouts is Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, he's got the burners.
He was second in targets, receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns last year, and they lost Anthony Miller. I think once Justin Fields gets in there, probably by halftime, that's going to be. I think he's going to be really good.
Maybe the second drive.
Yeah,
because he made that promise to Andy Dalton.
yeah.
He made that promise. You get the opening drive of the season, and you're out.
Yep.
You're out of there.
QB1.
God bless. With my job on the line, I'm not putting Andy Dalton there.
He's fucking trash.
But I mean, Kyle Pitts, I mentioned. I'm just going to say he's the real deal, guys. I'm not going to go in depth about that. And CEH, post-hype sleeper, really. I mean, this is going to probably be the best offense in the league. He can catch passes. When they did feed him the ball earlier in the season, he was great. But then he got hurt. And then he got phased out a little bit towards the end of the season. going into the playoffs. So I mean, this is a guy who went in the first round, early first round last year in drafts. I got him in one of my drafts in the 3rd round. I think that's a massive value. And he's good. So we'll see.
Are you worried about his ankle injury?
No, I just saw that he's going to play week 1.
He's playing?
I mean, do I love that he has an ankle injury? No.
Right. I mean, obviously nobody loves that. So.
Yeah. I mean, but he and Darrell Williams both have an ankle injury. But the reports out of camp, though, they said they were going to use him more in the passing game this year, which they realized, they were feeding him at one point. They definitely need to get him more involved. So I think they will, and the offensive line's a lot better this year. So, facts. So let's go on to sleepers, guys. I forget who I started with last segment, so I'm going to go to you, Nick. Give me your sleepers. Give me your sleepers. Let's hear it. Don't put me to sleep, though.
I got Antonio Gibson. I got Antonio Brown, Raheem Mostert, Corey Davis, and Mike Williams. No cap.
I have Corey Davis, Jacoby Myers, and Jerry Jeudy.
Okay, and I got a pretty long list. I'm just going to throw out names, people to target, okay? Trey Sermon, A.J. Dillon, Tevin Coleman, Corey Davis, Marquez Callaway, Antonio Brown, Elijah Moore, Ryan Fitzmagic, Trey Lance, and Justin Fields. All right, who do we want to break down? Corey Davis is one I heard. I think all 3 of us had him. So let's start there.
I think Zach Wilson's going to have a good year. I'm a believer in Zach Wilson. And Corey Davis was good last year. So, I mean, I think he's going to build off of that. I think he's the undisputed wide receiver 1 there. Yeah. And I just think he's going to have a good year.
I think he's going to be a target monster.
That's what I mean.
And they're going to be throwing a lot.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, I got Elijah Moore there, too. So 2 Jets guys make the list. Oh, my God. What is going on with the world?
I mean, I don't know if I actually really solely believe in Zach Wilson. I mean, he's had a good preseason, but he's made some throws to Corey Davis that made me like him in the preseason.
Yeah.
So that's exactly why I have
throws
him.
darts.
Yeah, he has a rocket arm.
He's going to have his growing pains. It's more just like this team's going to be throwing a lot, I think. And they happen to have 2 really good wide receivers right there. And Jamison Crowder's out due to COVID week 1. So opportunities there. I mean, Elijah Moore, this is one of the most productive college players in recent memory. And A.J. Brown said he should be on your Rookie of the Year watch. He said he's better than A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown said that himself.
Said he would bet game checks that he wins Rookie of the Year.
So, I mean, I hear that. I'm like, damn,
That's
well,
cat.
A.J. Brown's pretty fucking good.
That's cat.
Elijah Moore's good. He's small, but...
Yeah, but you got to remember, his success.
Mike's smiling.
Oh,
Go ahead, let it out, Mike.
yeah.
I just get stared at every
Get out
time
your
you guys
giggles.
say something.
he gave me the face.
Giggle.
Giggle. Go ahead, get out your giggles. Get out your giggles. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, but yeah, no, Corey Davis had 92 targets last year. I do like Zach Wilson as like his arm strength, but we'll see. You know what I mean? I like based on preseason, he was slinging that thing. I was like, damn.
He made a couple throws, dude, like from
on the sideline.
Yeah. On the opposite side of the hash mark, and it was just like, holy shit.
Yeah. And Corey Davis, he can get open, so I'm high on him this year.
So, what about Trey Sermon? I didn't hear you guys say his name. I have him there because Raheem Mostert gets hurt, and he's very talented. Don't get me wrong. I love Raheem Mostert.
Well, he's my sleeper.
Yeah, I mean, they're both. I think they're both kind of going late because no one really knows how the rotation's going to shake out. I think they're both going to play a ton. This is a system that supports multiple backs and always has. I think they're both going to play a ton.
I think Mostert's is gonna be RB1.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah,
group.
I mean, he should be.
Yeah.
He should be. He's really good. He just can't stay on the field.
So good, dude. He's so fast.
And I think everyone forgets that here. They're like, Trey Sermon. I'm only saying this because of where they're going in the draft. I think that you potentially could have something there. This is the same reason why I mentioned A.J. Dillon. I think that Jamal Williams had like 150 carries last year. Someone's going to get the work.
Yeah.
And this is with me saying I already have Aaron Jones as my number 7 back, and I think he's a stud. But A.J. Dillon's going to get some carries too. I'm just saying.
Well, they all do. I mean, every
system.
handcuff gets, carries.
But that's a lot of carries, though. That offense right there is another offense where they support multiple backs. I think it just kind of went under the radar.
Because you got to understand, when teams pay their running backs, they kind of want to preserve them for the life of the contract. You know what I mean? So they're not going to run them to the ground in the first year or two.
Right.
That's why they have the backups. That's why they drafted Trey Sermons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Niners, drafted him because Mostert's injury history.
He's a beast, man.
So, yeah, I mean, Mostert, if he stays healthy, he's top 10.
He carried
fantasy.
them to the
I don't
Super
care.
Bowl.
He's a top 10 fantasy back when healthy. I don't care. He is.
You're not wrong.
He is.
You're not.
And I'll stand on that hill. I don't give a fuck. I had him last year.
I'm
And
not
he
gonna-
was awesome.
I'm not gonna fight you on that hill.
He was fucking good last year.
What week did he get injured last year? Was it early on?
It was like, yeah, it was early. And then he came back and then got hurt again. And then
And the offensive line's healthy and good.
Yeah.
So, another one I want to pinpoint. I just noticed I had a third jet on my list. Tevin Coleman's starting, guys. I mean, Michael Carter has some appeal to me. But
I like Michael Carter.
Tevin Coleman's actually starting and literally went undrafted in one of my drafts and went in the last 2 rounds in a 12-team draft I just did. And this is a starting running back. I don't know any starting running backs that go that late.
this is your sleeper?
No, I'm just saying. If you have to fill out, Listen,
we ain't
I
doing
think he's
this, bro.
washed.
We ain't
Brother,
doing this, bro.
brother.
We ain't mentioning Tevin Coleman on
Listen,
this fucking podcast.
if you
dog.
need a starting,
that ain't happening.
Our
dog.
views are going down.
listen, this does not mean I'm vouching for him as a player. I think his days are pretty
Yeah,
gone.
he's gone, bro.
But the fact that he's starting over a couple of backs that probably are better needs to mean something. I'm just saying, end of the
it
draft.
means they're
you're
not
looking-
ready yet.
You're looking for a backup running back. There's one who's actually starting. I don't think people realize he's starting. I swear to God.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't pay attention
I thought
to Tevin
Michael
Coleman.
Carter should be starting, and he's not. One other, though. Marquez Callaway, the undisputed #1 receiver in New Orleans until Michael Thomas comes back. And this is a system that has always favored the first receiver. Always. Sean Payton's going to target the hell out of this guy. Will it last the whole season? I don't know. I don't know if the preseason version was the real deal or not. But still, something to monitor, and he's going late. So I'm willing to take a flyer on him. Why not? Right? Anyone else you want to touch on? I was saving Antonio Brown for a reason.
Nah, I mean, we're good.
I mean, actually, I wanted to ask you guys one question. Do you have like a ride or die this year? Like, who would be your ride or die guy? Like, no matter where he is in the draft, if you have one guy that you want to make sure is on all your teams, that's maybe less than obvious. Do you have one, like, off the top of your head?
I do.
I'm not saying that before my draft.
I don't care. Like, they can know about it. I don't give a fuck. I don't cap over
Everyone
here.
knows mine
I don't
most of
cap.
the time.
I'm honest.
I'm very
It's
public.
Damian Harris. I want Damian Harris on all my
There you
fucking
go.
leagues. I don't give a fuck. Come get him, bitch, because I'm getting him. You better be ready, yo, because I'm coming equipped. That's real shit.
I'm gonna say right now, everyone should probably expect this out of me. Nick Chubb is my guy.
I thought you were gonna say Chris Carson.
No, but he is my other guy. But I'm just saying, like, my ride or die, I don't care where he's going. Like, as long if he's in, if I have a top 5 pick, I'm taking Nick Chubb, 4th or 5th. I would consider him 4th, but I'm not going to take him 4th. But if he's there, pick 5. I know a lot of people that I just gave advice to, and they're like, "Who should I take at pick 5?" I'm like, Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb.
Bro, you
Okay.
playing the toilet bowl, dog.
I just got that, dude.
I did too. Taken aback a little bit.
No cap. over here.
Listen. This man, I'm tired of the disrespect. This might be the best back in the league, and he's gonna show you this year. He missed a month.
I love Nick Chubb, but dog. If I had number 5, I'm not going Nick Chubb. I don't think.
Didn't you have him ranked?
I did. I actually.
Back?
I had
He's
him
just not
5th.
number 5 overall for you.
Yes.
He is for me.
Right. I'm talking like value wise. He's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
He's not number 5 for me.
Listen, I saw some people came to me and said he made it past the top 10 picks. I'm like, huh? I want to be in your league.
Yeah, well,
Excuse
yeah,
me?
he
I
did.
know one person who just came to me and said,
Dylan.
this is like a,
Yeah,
yo,
he went 18th.
what? Yo,
He sent me a picture of it. And I started laughing. I'm like,
that's crazy.
you got Nick Chubb in the 2nd round, 18th overall.
I need a spot in that league. Yo, one of my friends just told me, like, it's a dynasty league, so they're allowed to trade picks. He had picks 5, 10, and 11, okay? He traded, like, mid-round picks to make it happen. He takes Devontae Adams 5th, where I was like, all right, I can deal with that. It's a PPR league. But 10 and 11, he got Chubb and Jonathan Taylor at 10 and 11.
That's not bad then.
People, are you sleeping? What the fuck? How are they going that late in the first round? I said, let me get a spot in your league right away. He's like, this is a 12-team league. Oh, my God. Anyway, moving on. Mike, you can hold your ride or die. We'll wait till like Thursday, right?
I'm extremely competitive, dude.
Oh,
and
damn,
I've
you-
never. I'm
you
not
didn't mention
saying-
it?
No, because I've never
Oh,
made the
that's
playoffs in Mark's
great.
league, dude, and I refuse to give away any info.
It makes it that much better when you do make it.
So real quick,
Like, yo, I
guys.
told you guys all my information. I still made the playoffs.
All right, I don't give a fuck. I'll say it right now. I got him in the second round in my other league, and I'm getting him. I'll get him Wednesday night, 9 o'clock at my house. James Robinson.
Damn. Well, that's a good way to lead off value picks. Let's just run down value picks real quick. All right. If you guys want to add, like, yo, give me 3 value picks, and if you want to give me 1 point about each one, do it. Ready, Nick? You go.
Value picks, just like Pollard said, James Robinson in the 3rd round. I think he's got RB1 potential, top 10 potential.
Yep.
I'm gonna say the second one is Logan Thomas in the 7th round. I think he could be a top 5 tight end this year. I love Fitzpatrick throwing him the ball, and Robert Anderson in round 8. I think that's a serious value pick because I think he's got big play potential, and the targets are going to be there.
Everyone forgets what he
And
did
Darnold's
last
there.
year.
And Darnold's
Crazy.
there. So that's
Mike?
what I'm at.
Zach Ertz. I don't really know what to make of that tight end situation, but he seems to be happy that he's in Philly. He could be a steal of somebody's draft.
They could have 2 top 10 tight ends.
Yeah, I don't really.
Legitimately.
I won't go that far. But
would.
I'm with
Whoa,
Zach
whoa,
Ertz.
whoa.
I say they could.
Whoa, two top 10 tight ends?
Why can't they?
We ain't doing this, bro.
Yo,
Come on,
New England could too.
dog.
New England could too.
New England
This is
ain't.
tight end we're talking about.
No, New England ain't going to do that, though. That's the thing.
We'll see.
Number 2, I got Carson Wentz. Mm-hmm. Because I think that he could thrive with Frank Wright in that system, and he has the weapons, and I don't believe that all his talent vanished. I don't believe he's the same guy from 17.
He's been going undrafted.
Yeah, he was undrafted on Wednesday.
I'm all for that. Go
And
ahead.
Joe Burrow. Because I think
Okay.
you can get him late, and I think he has a ton of skill players around him. I think you can get him at a bargain price, and
Could be a stat compiler.
yeah, I'm scared to death of his knee and that offensive line, but it's a value pick that you could get late. He could be a steal.
So I also had James Robinson, top 5 in running back fantasy points per game last year. This
I'm
is a
getting him
guy
Wednesday, no cat.
who could very well finish top 10. Okay, Mike had him in his top 10.
Scream at me.
I had him in all 4 leagues last year. All right, Matthew Stafford. Rams were 5th in passing yards in the NFL since McVay took over in 2017. The last 2 seasons, Stafford is top 10 in fantasy points per attempt, pass yards per attempt, and passing touchdown rate. Look out for Matthew Stafford. That's going to be a passing-friendly offense, okay? Brandon Ayuk, you guys have mentioned, wide receiver 15 in fantasy points per game with 8 targets per game from week 3 on last year. He's legit, okay? He's legit. And then I made a quick note here. This doesn't mean I want to stand by this too much, but Jamar Chase, since 2009, 5 of 6 wide receivers taken top 5 in the NFL draft were top 30 wide receivers as rookies. Just pointing that out because he's very talented.
Yeah, but he better be wearing Stickum.
Yeah, not this dude.
Because
I
he
knew
can't
you were
catch a
gonna say
lick.
that.
yo.
Hot hands Hanen.
I thought that Mike was going to say it. But yo,
God Favre.
let's
No
go
cat.
through our bold
No
predictions. Let's try to keep this at a few minutes here. I'm going to re-mention ones that we might have, like, guys, if you have ones from previous episodes you just mentioned, go for it. But if there's any new ones and you want to break down 2 or 3 each, feel free. Bold predictions. Mike, ready to go.
I have Robbie Anderson. I think he could push into the top 10 finisher wide receivers this year. He ranked 5th in 2020 with 101 first read targets. Another year with Joe Brady, and now he gets Sam Darnold. I think he has the potential to be a stud. And then I have Myles Gaskin. I think he's going to finish in the top 12 running back range.
Nice.
Last year, starting in week 3, he was number 7 among all backs with a 33% share of his team's opportunities, which is carries plus targets.
He's a value pick too, Mike.
And
I
he
got him mad late in my last.
He doesn't have much competition in the backfield either, and with Tua, he could lean on him.
And that was your last.
Those are
one,
my
right?
2, yeah.
Okay. Nick,
I got
go ahead.
Cooper Kupp finishes as a top 5 wide receiver.
Oh, I love it. You son of a gun. You took my thunder. Go ahead.
Honestly, I love Cooper Kupp. He gets a ton of targets. And now they have Stafford instead of Goff. I love him this year. They have a plethora of weapons. He plays a slot role. He's awesome.
Can I add to
love-
that point? Because
love
I'm going to
Cooper Kupp.
mention, I'll mention I actually was going to say Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods will be top 15 receivers. But Cooper Kupp specifically, I can see getting into the back end of the top 10.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll tell you why. Over the past 2 seasons when throwing to the slot, Matthew Stafford ranks 8th in pass rating and 9th in yards per attempt. Matthew Stafford was also on target with 88% of his passes thrown under 10 yards last season. Lastly, Cooper Kupp, target monster, 11th among wide receivers in targets per game last season, tied for 8th in red zone target share. Stud. I get him every year. I get him every year. My little Cooper Kupp, as Matthew Berry would say. I love Cooper Kupp. Love that one, Nick. Continue on with your list. Sorry about that.
And I have Antonio Gibson will outscore Saquon Barkley this year.
Ooh.
No cap. And I have Joe Burrow will have more passing yards than Lamar Jackson. So that's where my
that's significant too.
And I already said Damian Harris was going to finish as a top 15 running back.
Like
this year,
I mean, if you guys remember any just points from previous shows, like I definitely had mentioned some of mine in our rankings shows. I will bring it up in a second, but if you remember any right now, speak it or forever hold your peace.
I just feel like this year is going to be really, really weird. I feel like we're going to see a lot of weird shit. like players you don't expect to break out are going to go crazy. And all the big names
got an extra game this season too. So
yeah.
But here's my list, okay? Jalen Hurts, top 10 quarterback. I already said that. You guys thought I was crazy.
I still think you're crazy.
ESPN agrees with me. He's 10th on the rankings, okay? QB 9, 23 fantasy points per game in 4 games last season. 11.5 carries per game with 60-plus rush yards or rushing TD in all 4 games. And he had the second most rushing yards in his first 4 games. Second most in NFL history, behind only Lamar Jackson. He's a stat compiler. Doesn't mean I think he's going to be great.
You're a homer, dog.
No, I'm not. I'm all about the numbers, brother. All right. Nick Chubb, top 5 running back. I already said that. Chris Carson, top 10 running back. Already said that. I said A.J. Brown and Julio Jones will both be top 10 receivers. All right. I said Keenan Allen will be a top 5 receiver. I guess I must be going fucking crazy. I got a long list, right? Okay. Antonio Brown. This is what I was saving up for right here. Well, I did say, by the way, I said Tyler Higbee will be a top 10 tight end. Okay. Antonio Brown. I say all 3 Bucs receivers will be in the top 25. And I think that Antonio Brown can actually lead the group. I'm not going to outright say he will because that passing offense is going to be nuts. But I'm just saying, for the value, you could get him 4 or 5 rounds later than the other 2, maybe even 6. And he could lead the group. Here's why. Without any offseason or preseason reps with the Bucs last year, AB stepped in, averaged a 20.3% target share in 8 games last season. That's higher than Godwin and almost equal to Evans. He was also targeted on 18.9% of his snaps played, which ranks the 5th highest among all offensive skill players in the NFL. Holy shit, right? That's fucking wild. 5th highest. From week 9 through the Super Bowl, most receptions and second on targets on his team. The team used 3 to 4 wide receiver sets 70% of their snaps. From week 9 through week 17, AB tied for 24th in per game point per reception scoring among receivers. Comparatively, Mike Evans was 10th, Godwin was 19th, and lastly, final 4 games of 2020, AB averaged 20.1 points per game.
Oh my, you got him in the top 25?
I'm trying to tell you right now.
I think he's going to be the shit.
He may finish first among Bucs receivers.
Oh, you love AB, bro. You were digging in the crates.
Brother, I see him going
You're
like
targeting
fucking,
him, huh?
I can't believe how late he's going. I can't believe it. This is the guy who was the undisputed number 1 receiver in fantasy for a long time.
You, Mike. I love you, dude.
I'm your stat guy.
You are.
That's
bro.
a long list, but listen, that's a bold prediction. All 3 of them top 25? There's a lot of good receivers this year. So
3 of
that's
them
it.
just happen to be on the Bucs.
Yeah.
So that's it for our fantasy football preview of the 2021 season. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed our content. Be sure to revisit our previous episodes. Nick, you want to give us a notification bell reminder?
Yeah, so for everybody listening out there, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Also, give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And for everybody that's listening out there right now on the live stream, if you could please share this live right now, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
It was great. Very robotic.
I love your voice.
It is.
What?
Who said what?
Huh? Sorry.
Move on.
Oh,
Balls, fam. Phil,
You got the affection you were needing.
I mean, I listened closely to what he said before the show.
I need affection. That's real shit, dog.
I'm here for it.
I'm not gonna
I'm trying to compliment my boy.
I'm not gonna cap.
Phil,
Okay, yeah, move on, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Well, let's just move on before we get off topic because we start talking about affection over here.